Friday morning, August 12th. Thanks for joining us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abi Fridmann.
And I'm Stephannie Joseph. We've got a full 2 hours to get through, so let's just run down what we have brewing for you.
All right, to forget the same old back-to-school checklist, this morning a closer look at some of the most innovative gadgets to help students all school year. An Emmy award-winning tech expert will join us with a look at some of these cutting-edge tools.
Yeah, and then we're looking ahead and marking our calendars for an upcoming family-friendly celebration that's honoring veterans. Organizers for the Red, White, and Blue community event will join us in studio with a look at what's in store.
And then later, how do you start your morning? Hopefully, it's with us. But if you're searching for a different alternative to coffee, nutritionist Kelley Springer has some suggestions for you. She's going to have more for us coming up.
I wonder if she'll recommend matcha.
It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Have you heard of like mushroom coffee?
Yes, my sister is a big advocate.
Okay, so I would imagine that also is on her list. I imagine that like energy drinks like Monster, Red Bull, probably not on there. So I should pay attention. And you should too.
But before all of that, we want to get a check of the forecast because those 90-degree temperatures, they're sticking around today, expecting a heat wave, but some areas could see a chance of showers as well.
That's it, yeah, a chance of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm as we head a little deeper into the day. We're tracking some of that's off to our northwest and west right now. We're starting off with temperatures already increasing pretty well. A lot of places rising back into the 70s right now, 75 for the latest number at the airport. But as we take a quick look at radar, you can see how there has been some activity just off to our west. A lot of that's been over Lake Ontario, diminishing a little bit. But you can see one cell that is trying to hold together a little bit well to our north. But it's mainly along that line that is to our west. We're going to have to monitor that throughout the day today, given the fact that it will draw closer. And anytime from the middle of the day into the afternoon, the chances here for a shower or thunderstorm. But we'll be back into the lower 90s for highs today. This will be the third day straight of 90-plus degree weather, so that constitutes a heat wave. We'll drop down to about 73 tonight. Then we pull back a little bit over upcoming days, 86 and 82, a little higher risk of rain tomorrow. And then numbers may make a run at 90 again heading towards Saturday. So still a lot of summer-like warmth in store. And even after we see these numbers drop a little bit, it's just down to average before we see those numbers bounce back above average once again across the area.
I love it. I'm not mad about it at all. I mean, probably to get weather like this year round, I'd have to move again, which isn't going to happen. But I'm on board, Marty. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, let's go off the top now and start with some things that have piqued our interest this morning. I'll start things off today. My topic is for anyone dealing with heartbreak. A 38-year-old woman in Australia is turning to a new and unconventional way to process it. A retirement facility.
Okay.
So after her breakup, she had spent 2 months struggling financially while living in an Airbnb. Then she went to visit her aunt in a retirement home. According to media company Asian Feed, her aunt suggested she apply for an open unit. She got approved 6 weeks later. The cost is reportedly about $300 a month. Living in the city could have cost her thousands, the city being Melbourne. Now, besides the money, this woman says the transition has helped her find peace. Part of the reason is that slower pace. She was also introduced to a newfound community that felt like family, and it has been grounding for her, improving her state of mind, very important. According to one interview, she says that she's never felt out of place, and living with people not consumed by technology is great for her mental health. Now, let's paint a picture of some of the amenities. She has access to yoga and coffee, 2 pluses. Now, as the super said before, yes, there are events like bingo nights that she looks forward to. Her living situation has also changed her perspective on aging, and she's no longer afraid of it. Now, this, though, is getting some mixed reaction online, at least under Asian Feed's post. It should be noted that this story was also picked up by Vice News and Business Insider, and I believe you directly heard from her on Business Insider. But as for commenters, some are questioning if this is even possible. So the validity of the story. One user on Instagram by the name of Beauty60Plus says you have to be of retirement age to live in a retirement community in Australia.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Another person at a tribe called Co is in opposition to this woman's choice, saying in part, quote, "Wait, she's taking up a spot that was designed for the elderly?" End quote. They further accuse her of taking advantage of the system, but others are supporting the choice. One person said, quote, "If this was available in my area, I would do the same, no doubt."
Wow. Okay. Well, let's unpack there.
That is for sure.
Okay. So, I mean, I kind of agree a little bit with some of the people that are being a little critical.
Yeah.
Did she move in with her aunt?
No, there was a unit.
She got her own unit. Okay, so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never had to send a loved one to a facility like that, but I do know that those units are hard to come by. I'd
Right.
like to know why she was picked over somebody else.
Yeah.
However, I feel for her. That's a tough thing to go through. Breakups are hard.
Yeah.
And, I imagine it would be very serene and very peaceful to live there. And she probably is getting some great advice from the residents that live there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she could go visit a lot.
Exactly, which is great. And I think maybe for her it was just needing some sort of family or community, having gone through such a split where I believe they were living together, so obviously having to move on. But I saw a lot of comments that said kind of similar to what you were saying, which is that, these are hard to come by where I'm from, so I can't imagine what it must have been like there. A lot of questions, I think, so I'll have to go back and read through her perspective a bit more on Business Insider. But yeah, I appreciate that she is taking steps to move on, and financially it is not easy.
Yeah.
In Australia, I can't imagine. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, thinking of the financial aspect of it, right? That's a lot of money for an apartment,
Yeah.
which is the case here.
Yeah.
It's the case all around.
Yeah.
Cost of living is crazy expensive. It's,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It
Yeah,
does.
she is working, doing some freelance work,
Okay.
I believe is what the story said. So
All right, there we go. Well, maybe she will find the peace that she needs. She'll get her life back on track. That unit will open up and she'll, I don't know, find something else.
fingers crossed.
All right, we got to move on to mine. So I wrote this before I was sent into a blind rage earlier this morning. I wrote, there are very few things that will send me into a blind rage. One of those is when my travel plans get disrupted. You be quiet over there.
I wonder if they picked up what he said.
Specifically, one of the things that makes me angry is flying in general, air travel. It's something that I've actively tried to work on. My motto for life typically is, it's never that serious. But for some reason, the combination of paying $400 to be packed into a metal can like a sardine, hurled through the air, and then forced to get off the plane, hang out in an airport for a few hours, and then do the same thing over again, it really doesn't do much for me. But now, also, I am not the kind to get up to the counter and yell. I usually just sit there and stew in my own anger and draft a strongly worded email to the airline. It never gets sent, but it's very therapeutic to write it all out. Usually it starts with, how dare you? Now, I know for the most part, nobody is to blame for how frustrating all of this is. Most of the time, it's weather, staffing issues, safety concerns. All of those things are to blame. So really, how upset can you get? Touch some grass. Let's take a reality check. But this story is absolutely insane, and somebody has got to be to blame for this. Two women who are legally blind were traveling from Louisiana to the state of Florida. They say they were forgotten about by Southwest Airlines, and they realized this after a nearly 5-hour delay at their gate. The women realized something was wrong when they boarded the plane and were told they were the only two on the plane. After that 5-hour delay. Apparently they were told by employees, you're the only two people on the flight because they forgot about you. Yeah, yikes. Now Southwest says that was not the case. They claim other passengers were given other accommodations during that 5-hour delay, including flights that left earlier in the day. So while the two women waited at that gate, other customers were given the option to hop on a different flight, maybe get a hotel. Southwest says the women didn't rebook their flight, so nothing changed. They just had to sit at the gate. Everything was just so. One of the women says they were never told about any other flights or any other options, so they stayed put. The biggest issue here, they say, is communication. The women are asking for changes, especially for those who need extra help while they're traveling. Why weren't they told about the other flights? To apologize, Southwest gave them a $100 voucher. Kind of makes you wonder, just how much did they pay for their tickets? Why weren't they given an update? And is $100 really a worthy apology?
No.
I wouldn't say so. If I found out that me and my friend were the only two on a flight, first of all, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Second of all, don't tell me that you forgot about me.
Yeah.
Keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
They could have framed that like it's a luxury treatment,
Exactly.
right? Ridiculous.
I can't believe it.
Again, this is all alleged. Southwest says that was not the case. But either way, if they were the only two on the flight, they were the only ones that didn't find out that other people were getting other accommodations. If you knew that these women couldn't see, they were blind, and you were working at the airport, wouldn't you go over them and say, hey, I'm just letting you know X, Y, and Z? You've been sitting here for 4 hours, almost 5. There are other options available.
They're supposed to walk through and just check everything, right? The crew that's on board. So wouldn't they have?
It just seems like such a big oversight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I listen, I get it. Like I said, there's a lot going on. There are a lot of things happening. Weather, safety, staffing issues.
Right.
But Southwest put out a statement saying that, customer care is one of the most important things. And it's like, well, you've got two people there that were not cared for.
Yeah.
And they needed it.
Yeah, point blank period, I think.
Yeah.
You put it plainly. So.
In other news, I'm flying Southwest not too far away, so let's hope they don't watch this. I hear they're big fans of the show, though.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, if you want to send a voucher our way.
But I'm just saying, so where I was going with that whole thing was, I normally will just keep to myself, but if I was a passenger and I noticed that these two women had been sitting there forever, I would definitely go up and say something.
Yeah.
Also, if I happened to be one of the people and I was there for 5 hours, I'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I need it. I need another way.
I couldn't imagine just sitting. I would have been like, do you guys?
Yeah.
Somebody should have spoken up too.
I was stuck at the Atlanta airport for 7 hours one time.
No.
And that was miserable. That was like worst day ever.
Yeah, my sisters told me about that.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Zero fun. 0% chance of happiness. Much more to get to this morning on our Rochester. When we come back, we're going to check in with Chris Lopez, who's feeling extra sweet this Tuesday morning.
Hey, don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are by streaming us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
That's the kind of day it's been.
Yeah.
Hey, next month, grape lovers from all around will head to the town of Naples for the highly anticipated annual Grape Festival.
Yeah, and getting ready for all that sweet fun, a local bakery has already rolled up their sleeves, baking hundreds of delicious grape pies. Our Chris Lopez has been live there at Colby's Ice Cream and Bakery all morning. He's helping out. How are things going, Chris?
Everything's going really good so far. We were filling up the pies, crusting the pies. We're going to get in the next segment. We're going to put those pies in the oven, and we've only prepped, I don't know, 50 pies. They're prepping 1,000 or so, 2,000 for the Naples Grape Fest, and they're not just prepping pies. We're also working on the grape donuts as well, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the business here at Colby's, because you guys just don't sit around and wait all year for Grape Fest just to prep pies.
No, not at all. We are into all kinds of baked goods. We have a full ice cream with 36 flavors. Hershey's, the best ice cream in America. We also have frozen custard. Right now, we have grape custard and vanilla custard twist. It's awesome. And we make it with the grape puree, the Concord grape puree. It's delish.
And tell me a little bit more. You have, when I walked in here, I thought it was just going to be maybe some ice cream and cookies, but you have food back here. There are all sorts of pies and baked goods, and you tell me you make sure you have the best of everything.
Right.
And I got to point out, your prices are very inexpensive.
Yeah.
You should be charging, I would say, double for the shakes that you have. But a float that's 16 ounces is $6.75. If I were to go anywhere, I won't name names, that's a $12 plus a tip there.
Well, the nice thing about our ice cream is, like milkshakes, we make out of all the hard ice cream. So there's 36 flavors of ice cream. I just like everyone to come in and have the best taste and the best wow they can ever have coming to Colby's. And we have 40,000 people a year come by and buy something, which is great.
And tell me about the business a little bit. You guys started in 1989.
Yes.
So you've been going strong for a very, very long time.
Yes.
How did you get your foot into a business like this? And it's not just what we're at right now, the retail with ice cream and cookies.
Right.
You have almost everything.
We started our business catering. I spent my summers on my uncle's pig farm, and my family owned a business where we sold gas grills to the utility, because when gas grills first started in the 60s, then the utilities installed them on natural gas, and they would put a post in the ground in your backyard. And my family business was doing that. And because of that, I used to go to home fairs and home shows and that, and demonstrate the grills with the manufacturer's reps. And when I got older in high school, I put the two together and started doing pig roasts and that sort of thing. And in 1989, I decided to go into the business. I put an ad in a penny saver. I sold 17 pig roasts. I didn't even have a pig roaster, and I started building my own pig roasters. I ended up with 8, and in 2008, we did over 200 pig roasts all around New York State. So that got us started, and then we moved into...
And I got to interrupt you there. That is, so if you see the Colby's, I was wondering too, there's a pig holding a baked good, an ice cream or a pie. That's why it's a pig holding that there.
Yes, that was our beginnings. And then my son, when he was 14, he decided he wanted to open up a Dairy Queen. And I said, no. So we came down to the corner here and we opened up our ice cream shop. And then we added the bakery and the pies and grab and goes, and everything else just kind of took off.
Grape Fest, what's your favorite part of it? It seems like it's an extravaganza over 2 days. You said roughly 50,000 people come.
Yes.
There's people selling grape pies out of the back of their trunks.
Right. It's a great place to go. Along Main Street, anything goes. It's amazing. And the people come and they're really pleasant, have a great time. It's a festival. It's kind of a combination of a festival, Mardi Gras kind of feeling. It's awesome. And the best thing about it is watching somebody come up and grab a donut, a grape donut, and taste it and go, oh my gosh, it tastes amazing. And you don't have the opportunity to eat like that anywhere else.
Okay.
Unless you come here.
and we're going to be here for one more hit coming up. Check this out. If you're just now tuning in, you have Emily here working on crusting these. I poured a lot of this puree right here. Emily did the hard work with the crusting, and so did Jim as well. But we're going to be putting all of this into the oven, getting ready for Grape Fest next month. And you may be wondering, well, why are they prepping a month out? Well, first of all, he has to prep over 2,000 pies. Second of all, they get frozen, and then they get transported over there to pretty much get all sold out. We have that coming up for you next on ARC Rochester. That's phenomenal.
Come on, Chris, it's ridiculous.
I was just the surprise.
I know. Gosh, okay, you got to bring some back, though. It's literally Mark McLean's favorite.
Yeah.
He's weeping over there in the Weather Center
Come on.
at the idea of not getting a little treat. Ridiculous.
We'll see, Mark. We'll see.
That's not enough.
Is the weather going to cool down?
Yeah.
I hope so.
A lot. All right, Lopez, thank you.
Hey, don't go anywhere, because when ARC Rochester returns, it's time for weather trivia.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mark McLean will be here coming up next. Welcome back. Meteorologist Mark McLean is here now. We have more 90-degree temperatures on the way. What is this now, 12? 12 days this summer?
I think today will be 11 for this year. We had 8 last year. So, yeah, I mean, it's getting up there. 92 degrees, 2 days in a row. It looks like today somewhere in that 92-degree range again. So, yeah, it's going to be hot. So we should use that for the theme, right?
Yeah.
For weather trivia today. How about that? Talk about warm temps in the United States. Did you know that every single state in the United States has reached 100 degrees?
What?
How about that, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Even on that theme, so there's 2 states listed below that have never exceeded 100 degrees in recorded weather history. Is it Vermont and Rhode Island, New Hampshire and Maine, Alaska and Hawaii, or North Dakota and Oregon? How about this? What if I told you that the state of Florida, which is not on this list, the all-time record high temperature is less than the all-time record high temperature in New York State? Would you believe that?
No.
That's hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Actually true.
Yeah. 108 in New York State, 103 in Florida.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I feel like Alaska and Hawaii, you'd be like, oh, it would never get to Alaska.
Right.
100 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So the
I feel like it's like a trick.
Well, not intentionally. This is not a trick question, not by intention, but I think a lot of people will look at it as kind of a tricky, tricky question.
This is a good one. You said it during the break. You said
it's a fun one.
A good one.
We got a great doggie coming up on Muddy Paws too.
Great.
You're gonna love it. 110% cute again, and lots to talk about. Perseid meteor shower out there tonight. This is another great one. That's the peak of that is actually today. And tomorrow, you get outside after 10 o'clock. The problem, with this year's is that we had that full moon last Friday, so there's a lot of moonlight out there too. But you get to a rural area, get away from street lights, look in that north to northeast sky, and you can get a 50 per hour, is a possibility. If you're closer to the city, it's probably more like 5, 10, or 15 to see per hour. But this is always a fun show. It's always one that delivers. And we're going to have Tony Rice on tomorrow morning from NASA Ambassador Tony Rice. He's going to talk about not only this meteor shower, but some of the upcoming ones also in the next few months. Rochester, 92, there it is. That was Scott Hetzko.
Yeah.
That was clever. I like it.
Oh, yeah, lots of these. Last year was 8 days, and like we said, this is going to be day 3. So technically that makes it a mini heat wave for Western New York. Southwest of 10, the difference out there this morning is that dew point number. That's at 64. That was in the 50s yesterday morning. So you're going to feel it a little bit more, and that also gives us a small chance for a thunder shower, too, later this afternoon. But, another day where the UV index is about as high as it gets for Western New York. If you have to spend time outdoors, that number's at 8 today, so you definitely want some protection from the sun. If you can throw on the sunscreen, it's going to help you out. Now, this afternoon, this is very isolated in nature, but anything that does develop this afternoon could have a localized downpour for sure. Probably a better chance tomorrow morning of actually seeing a downpour as a weak cold front starts to approach the area. I don't expect this on an area-wide basis, so don't forget the watering routine. Don't stop watering the plants tomorrow or something like that. That front's going to come through and give us a small chance, but not a great chance for rain. But 92, I think, will be there, dropping back through the 80s this evening, back to the 70s overnight tonight. Again, the moonlight's going to be around. Mainly dry weather, warm, a bit muggy, but, sneak out. It's a nice night for viewing the Perseids. Extended forecast shows us dropping back to the low 80s by Thursday, which is just normal for this time of the year. We're near 90 again for the weekend weather by Saturday, mid-80s for Sunday. Looks like there's a small chance for rain early next week. But that's another developing story is the lack of rainfall. For July and August, it's somebody shut the faucet off in Western New York. Yeah.
It's really remarkable.
Yeah.
We just haven't had any. I mean, the humidity's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But,
when you look at it from the records from May and June, we had 11 inches of rain, and then July and August came in, it's less than 2 inches of rain, and August, excuse me, is now less than, I think 0.12, I think is the official number. So that's 1 inch below normal just for August.
Yikes.
Is there a way to turn things around, or?
There is, if the tropical season gets involved off the East Coast, I think there's a chance. But it's really going to take a storm of significance to break up this weather pattern.
And something's brewing right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aaron?
Oh, yeah.
That keeps popping up on my social media, but I usually just kind of...
further out to sea, and there was a couple of waves coming off of Africa that looked like they had a chance, but there's lots of Saharan dust down there, too. I know it sounds weird that dust could actually inhibit hurricane formation, but it does. It's something that's present out there, and it's something that's slowing down the season.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Weird stuff, right?
Yeah. Interesting, though. All right. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
And we'll have the answer to Mark's weather trivia coming up in the next hour.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We've got much more to come here on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
everyone, on this Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for staying with us here on ARC Rochester. We want to go behind the story and take a closer look at President Trump's plans after he federalized police in D.C. and deployed the National Guard in the nation's capital.
So the White House officials say up to roughly 800 troops in the D.C. National Guard have been activated. It's unclear where they'll be placed throughout the city or just how long they'll be there.
Trump claimed that the move was to crack down on crime and remove homeless encampments, warning other Democrat-led U.S. cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York City take notice. D.C.'s
mayor is protesting the move, arguing violent crime in the district is down, but she says the D.C. government will cooperate with the administration.
And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
We pay taxes and we uphold the responsibilities of citizenship. And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised. I can say to DC residents that we will continue to operate our government in a way that makes you proud.
Now, this morning, we wanted to have local voices weigh in on President Trump's plan of relocating the homeless, quote, far from the Capitol. For more, we are joined now by the interim executive director of the House of Mercy, Pam Smith, and building and ground manager, Brian Keene. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to start now with just your reaction to hearing what President Trump had to say in the press conference and how he was referring to unhoused individuals.
Yeah, for me, it was very unconcerning because for 40 years, the House of Mercy, under the leadership of Sister Grace Miller and people that she brought on, have been advocating for the homeless. And what we have seen over these years, I've been with the House of Mercy, associated with them for over 17 years. And what I have seen, I haven't seen criminals and people who are destroying things. What we see are people who are suffering and who need help. Poverty and homelessness should not be a crime. And, our goal is to help lift people up. And we are concerned about how President Trump's statements will impact the homeless in Rochester.
And Brian, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Pam. I think it's a dangerous thing when you start using labels. I think you can certainly listen to what he said. The slums, that accenting that S, they live in the slums, right? We're talking about mothers, we're talking about fathers, we're talking about children, we're talking about people with a story. It's just to throw out the they and say that we're going to move them is pretty terrifying stuff.
And I believe that you both sort of alluded to it in your statements there, talking about just how multifaceted homelessness can be in terms of the different factors that are into play that people have to approach and deal with. Can you tell us a little bit more about those factors and what you've seen on your end in terms of people approaching them?
Well, coming to the shelter, we have many different people that come. We have folks that really are down on their luck. We have people who are tax-paying citizens. They're working and for whatever reason have had to come to the shelter. One thing that we always talk about is, what can we do? What can our community do, the city and the state do to help the homeless rather than criminalize them? There are many empty buildings and properties all over Rochester that could be used to build more programs to help housing, to help the homeless, to put more substance money towards substance use and mental health. These are the things that we see that people are suffering with. But these are treatable. These are treatable things that we can help people with. And as Brian says, it's a disaster to talk about, criminalizing, the homeless for just trying to survive.
Brian, I'm curious to know if you have thoughts on that as well, not to go back and forth between the two of you here. But it seems to me like the comments surrounding this announcement are largely that if an individual doesn't have a place to live, if they are considered homeless, they are immediately associated with criminal behavior. And that's not the case at all.
Well, no, it isn't. And, you know, one of the best pieces of guidance I got when I started working at the House of Mercy was to remember that this isn't an abstract population. So when you talk about homelessness in Rochester, you're not talking about giant stadium full of complete strangers, right? You're talking about maybe 80 people, maybe 100 people, maybe more. You know, I mean, the numbers are open to interpretation, but it's a number of people that you can get to know. You can get to know who they are. You can get to know what they need. Now, chances are what they need is pretty difficult stuff, because chances are what they need is recovery. Chances are what they need is a mental health, and chances are what they need is financial assistance. So you're talking about three things that just, right, that's a heavy lift for anybody. But we do it one person at a time, just like Pam says. You come into the House of Mercy, you go to any one of the great programs in the city, and one person at a time. We get to know who you are, we get to know what you need, we get to see what resources we can connect you with, and then we try to find another person, and we repeat the same process over and over again. We need more resources, there has to be more connections. But you know, it's a doable, it's a man-made problem to a large extent, and it's solvable by man.
And I'm wondering, when it comes to, for a lot of advocates, they're concerned about displacement sort of leading to other issues or worsening some of the issues that anyone who is facing homelessness may be dealing with. So can you tell us a little bit about how that displacement could impact anyone who may just be looking for those resources that you were talking about?
Yes, well, one way is that it moves them away from the resources. So if you're in the city, or and they want to move you further out, or wherever they plan to move people, they're moving them away from the resources that can help them and the advocates that are out on the street looking to help them. When people are displaced, they lose a lot. So we tear up the encampments, and their birth certificate is gone, their ID is gone, personal mementos are gone, and these can worsen people's well-being, and when these things happen. My research, I listened to the president talk about the people being criminals. Our research shows that more homeless people are victimized. They're more likely to be victimized than to commit crimes.
Pam and Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us this morning. We certainly appreciate it. And this is definitely something we will continue to watch. I imagine more details about these plans will unfold in the coming days and in the coming weeks. In the meantime, what's a good way for people to find out more about the services that you offer?
Well, please come visit the House of Mercy at 285 Ormond Street. We're always welcome to give you a tour. Please go to our website at houseofmercyrochester.org to see what we're doing and see what the needs of the people are. And we will continue, hopefully, another 40 years in advocating and helping people.
All right. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Hey, stick around. We've got much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're once again checking in with Chris Lopez.
And don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live. Join us on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and on foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
I just missed it.
Welcome back. The highly anticipated 2025 Naples Grape Festival is set to take over the town next month, and it is going to be paradise for those who love all things grape.
Yep, that is for sure. Guests will get everything grape related, including those beloved grape pies. And speaking of pies, one local bakery is already busy making some to share. So we go live to our Chris Lopez at Colby's Ice Cream and Bake Shop. He's been there all morning. Chris, how are things?
Things are going great. The product is relatively finished right now, getting ready to put it in the oven. Emily is over there putting on the mix. Linda is putting all of the pies onto the bake rack to get them to go into the oven to bake. Emily, I have to ask you though, there's a bit of a difference between the pies. You're putting the crust on one. What's in that crust there that makes it taste so good?
What's in this crust? It's white cake mix, it's cinnamon, brown sugar, and it's like a butter, so it all clumps together. And it creates a different taste and texture between the regular crust and then the crumb. And this crumb, it also melts into the grape as well, just so it creates like, I like to talk about it as like a savory type of taste.
All right,
so
I like
the butter,
that.
the salt in it makes it nice and savory.
And the pies are a little bit different from what you would get in Naples. These are made with Concord grapes,
Yes.
and so it makes the pies sweeter. Now, I want to talk about what I had said last segment. I said you guys straight freeze them, but there's a bit of a process that you do. Can you explain those steps?
Yeah, when we make the pies for the Naples Grape Fest, we assemble them where they're just without any toppings, and we freeze them raw. And then that way it maintains the integrity, but it also gives us the ability to make them fresh that week. So when you get a pie at Naples, it's freshly made that week, and it's just the contents were frozen. So, and then we bake them off to make them the best they can be.
Is there a certain spot people can go and find you at? Like, are you already assigned a vendor space at all?
Yeah.
Or is it just going to be anywhere and everywhere?
We have two booths. We have one right on Main Street in front of the high school.
Okay.
And then we also have one in the old town hall to the left side. And we have all kinds of big grape signs, grape barbecue signs, grape cannoli signs. You can't really miss us.
And you've been doing this for 3 years at
Yeah,
Naples
going on
Grape
the fourth
Fest?
year, yeah.
Fourth year. How's it been over those last 3 years?
It's been so exciting and amazing. And it's just a great to see the people come up and for this time taste a grape donut or a grape cannoli or buy a big grape pie. It's a great feeling. Also, we brought our grape barbecue, and you can have a grape barbecue sandwich, chicken or pork, and really experience an amazing taste.
Yeah, everything grape you guys are bringing there, like you said, the cannolis, the donuts. The donuts were absolutely fantastic, by the way. Yes, Mark McLean, I will be bringing you back some grape donuts. Don't worry, I'm just joshing you. But Grape Fest, though, how many people are you bringing to help you? You said a few thousand pies are going to be over there. There's no way you can do it alone. I've only seen two people helping you out. You got Linda over there, and then you got Emily who's helping you out. There's no way this is it.
No, we employ about 30 people, mainly part-time, and people that worked for me 30 years ago come to help me with the Grape Fest. It's such a great time, and the people just enjoy what we do and what we make, and we're reasonably priced too.
Yes, yeah.
A grape pie is $12 for an 8-inch, and for a 9-inch deep pie, it's $17.
And you don't have to wait until Naples Grape Fest to get those grape pies. You can come here. Where are you guys located
We
at?
can go to the Grease Farmers Market,
Okay.
the Fairport Farmers Market, or the Ronnequay Farmers Market.
There we go.
And also during the winter, we're at the builders or the home show down at the convention center March 21st and 22nd.
There we
so
go.
we bring all our bakery and pastries and have a lot of fun there too.
I love it. Well, that's it here at Colby's Bakery. Thank you for inviting us this morning. We have much more ARC Rochester coming up next.
8:49, the Rochester Police Department is in the midst of a recruitment drive, hoping to boost numbers and better help the city.
For this week's Crime Stoppers, we're joined by Sergeant Justin Collins and Officer Michelle Calderon to talk more about the RPD recruitment unit and how things are going. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's get right into it. We'll start off with the numbers. Just how many people are you looking to recruit in this next round?
Well, we're down about 100, a little over 100 officers. So on average, we like to try to get anywhere from 800 to 1,000 applicants. That's how many it'll take to get to the number we're looking to get.
Wow.
And what are some of the requirements that people applying need to have?
Oh, so you have to be 19 and a half. We just raised the age in New York State, so it's 42 at the time of the test. You could turn 43 during the process. If you have military experience with some restrictions with that, it'll go up to 50 years of age. You have to be a United States citizen, have a valid New York State driver's license, no felony convictions. You have to be have good moral character, somebody with integrity, and you also have to have a GED or a high school diploma.
Wow. All right. And so then let's talk physical and mental requirements. I imagine that there are some rules, yes?
Yes, for sure. We follow the Cooper standards, so you can get those online, but based on your age and your gender, how many push-ups, sit-ups, and run that you do. And we strongly suggest, regardless of your physical fitness level, that you prepare. We have a lot of programs. Our department has a lot of programs to help get people ready. But regardless of whether you're in the gym 24/7, we see a lot of people who just underestimate the tests. So we want to make sure that you're prepared.
And for anyone who may think that this is a little daunting, what does the application process look like? Does it start with a form and then interview set up and so on?
So the application process is very easy. It's like about 10 minutes online. They would go to our website, jointherpd.com. You set up an account with the city, apply. You're signing up for the written exam. The written exam is September 20th this year. The deadline's August 22nd at midnight. And then the physical agility will be the month after.
And let's say you pass the physical agility, you pass the written test, then what?
Go ahead.
You go on to the background process. So there's a series of tests that you'll do to prepare, to go through, to make sure that you're guided through the process. All in all, it takes anywhere from about 7 months to about a year to go through the process. I think what's really exciting, though, is that we have absolutely the hardest working, most professional police department, I'd say, in the country. And we're excited for the opportunity to add some more people to this organization.
And what has it been like connecting with people out there? I feel like not too long ago we were talking about like a social media campaign, for example.
For sure. We are all over the place. We've got a great team of people. We're working at RPD and so many officers who are out there helping us recruit. You know, the best way to bring in more people to your organization is through people that currently work there. So there's been so many people that help myself and Officer Calderon get that message out to join the RPD. That's how we're going to build this organization even stronger.
So, being completely real here, people are probably watching this thinking, that is a terrifying job. I am so scared. Like, there's not a chance I could do that in a million years. What would you say to those people?
I mean, we both have our own perspective, but without a doubt, it has been incredible. And I mean, there are times you're scared. There are times you're tense. That's human nature. But for the most part, you have some incredible backup. You're trained. The training is top notch. And again, you rely on such great people to work with every day, and the culture and organization and the work ethic and the people. These folks are heroes. I mean, tell me in this day and age where you can get people to put their lives on the line for complete strangers, people in our organization, people in policing, people in the Rochester Police Department are doing things that are bigger than themselves, helping people every single day. I mean, movies and TV, that stuff's kind of almost desensitizes it. But these are ordinary people doing extraordinary things every single day. As sure as we're sitting here right now, people are out there doing fantastic things in our organization.
For sure. And how about for you?
So the academy was very challenging for me. 6 months in the academy and then 4 months on the road training completely changed my life and the way I saw things, the way I did things, the way I talked to people. So I realize it can be scary for people. There's people probably sitting at home that grew up the same way I did. I grew up in the city of Rochester thinking there's absolutely no way, but I'm telling you, after that academy and the 4 months on the road, it's been amazing for me.
And for anyone who is like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to sort of take the next step, how can they get started in this process?
Well, they're going to go right to jointherpd.com or they can call me at 585-370-5004.
Very good. And again, looking to bring on about 100 new folks, and you're looking to get between 800 and 1,000 applications.
Sure.
Are you feeling confident about that?
Yes, we have a fantastic team. Myself, Officer Calderon, we have a bunch of other officers helping us. We're well on our way.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, best of luck. And if you're interested, all of the information will go over on foxrochester.com. Plenty of stories as well for you on 13wham.com.
Hey, stick around. We've got so much more to come on Arc Rochester.
We're back after this. Much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour, including heading back to school with this year's coolest tech, from AI laptops to a coffee maker that makes water out of thin air. Our tech expert gives us a closer look.
Then, celebrating local veterans at Lincoln Hill Farms. We'll be learning more about all the family fun coming up at the Red, White, and Blue celebration.
And later, engaged, but not to a person. We're going to learn more about a woman who said yes to her AI fiance. That and more coming up in this morning's Trending Now.
Looking forward to that one.
Yep, Arc Rochester is back after this. morning, August 12th. Thanks for staying with us on Arc Rochester. I'm Abi Fridmann.
And I'm Stephannie Joseph. Meteorologist McLean back with us once again for another check of the forecast and also the answer to today's weather trivia.
Yeah, lots in this this weather forecast right here. Interesting answer to the trivia, right? And not a trick question. It's not a trick question.
Okay. All right.
Okay? But we're talking about 100-degree heat. Every single state in the United States has at least reached 100 degrees, but there's only 2 of them that have never gone beyond 100 degrees. So do you have any guesses of any of the choices that are up here? Vermont and Rhode Island, New Hampshire and Maine, Alaska and Hawaii, or North Dakota and Oregon? Ooh, we're all over.
People are all over the board.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So, I mean, I worked in Vermont and New Hampshire.
It's nice, right?
It's beautiful there.
It is so,
but
and it's so green.
And
And
was
green
never
doesn't heat up.
super hot. No, but
A lot of people are saying C. I was like, maybe D.
Start thinking about Hawaii. It's characteristics of the state.
it's hot.
It does get hot.
But I don't think that it's like too hot, like
Right.
stifling hot. I think it's got the nice breeze.
Yep.
It's tropical, right?
Yep.
So my guess, I guess C, right?
Okay.
I think I'll have to jump on the bandwagon.
The C bandwagon. You're 2 for 2 this week.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
So this actually happened before both were states. So Alaska, this goes back to 1915. And of course, on June 27th, portions of that state are getting 24 hours of sunlight. So during that time of the year. And Hawaii, of course, the limiting factor there is the ocean. It's completely surrounded by water, and there's just no way for the temperature to go any higher than that. So that was back in 1931. Pretty crazy, huh?
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was an interesting weather trivia. We'll have another one for you tomorrow. So the other interesting part of the forecast here coming up is this little guy.
Hey!
Oh my goodness.
Tully is living his best life in this picture.
Oh my gosh, look at that face. Are we hanging out of the car window?
I
Is that
think
what's going on?
I think we are. I think the tongue is flapping.
Yep. that's the
Road
tongue.
trip.
Road trip for Tully.
Oh.
Looks like
Boy.
I don't know. Well, he might not need muddy paws. He's getting chauffeured around, right?
This is true.
I mean, he might skip this forecast right here. I think he's okay today. Looks like there's a chance tomorrow that we get a downpour in there, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. At this point, all look dry. We love to see the pics of the pups. So if you want to share those with us, 13wham.com/chime in, and we do have that QR code.
There it is.
Right there. Yeah, just scan that code on the screen. And we'll get your pup on the air, your cat on the air. We've had all sorts of animals on the air.
Birds, cats.
Deer.
Did you say geese? I missed the geese.
The geese, goose. Maybe it was just a goose.
Just one.
Just
a
one.
singular.
I feel like I would have remembered that. Doesn't
that-
matter. Doesn't matter. Either way, yeah, we
Okay.
want to see them all.
We want to see them. 78 degrees southwest at 9, and the change today is the dew point. So with the dew point in the mid-60s, that does give us an isolated chance for a shower. We'll talk about that in a second. And this is something we were talking about a half hour ago. Tropical storm Erin out in the middle of the Atlantic. Obviously, no threat to land, no threat to the U.S. at this point, but we'll be tracking that storm as it moves across the Atlantic towards the U.S. potentially. Now, back here, speaking of storms, you remember how busy it was last year in terms of severe weather during the summer?
Yeah, it was. I feel like every day you were working late.
In July, and we were handing off. Marty would stick around beyond his shift, and sometimes even into the afternoon. We had one afternoon where we had 6 tornado warnings at the same time on the air in Western New York. We had 6. That doesn't happen. So we've gone from bedlam to boring. This was some of the stats on it. New York State, May, June, July, and August last year had more than 1,060 local storm reports. This year it's just 1/4 of that, and just 1 in August. That's how quiet it's been this year. So I guess we'll take it. We could use some rain, but we'll take the quieter weather in terms of the severe potential. And there's a small chance today, very small chance of an isolated downpour. Maybe a little bit better chance tomorrow morning into early tomorrow afternoon. This is going to be out ahead of a cold front that's going to be making its way across the area. So if you're lucky enough to catch that tomorrow, it's going to be a quick 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain. And I think that's going to be about it. Golf forecast, again, is looking pretty good for you. It's going to be a hot one. Stay hydrated. Temps in the low 90s this afternoon. Lots of sunshine around. And later tonight should stay mainly dry. But I'm feeling like Florida. 73 for a low temperature. Now, that's up there. That's a lofty number for this area. Extended forecast has us back in the low 80s by Thursday, mid 80s for Friday. And maybe one more 90 on Saturday. If we get 90 today, we think we will. That's 11. If we get 90 on Saturday, that would be 12 for the year. So it's been a hot summer. It's been a dry summer, hot summer. I mean, it's a summer for the summer lovers.
Yeah. We always joke about it, but you just have to enjoy it now.
Yeah. Goodness. Yeah, because you know what's coming.
Oh, I do.
And it's depressing.
Oh, I was talking about the grape donuts.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Talking about weather again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a little preview for tomorrow. I guess we have Tony Rice coming on.
Yeah.
NASA ambassador to talk about the meteor shower, yeah?
So we have a number of meteor showers. The one that a lot of folks really like is the one in August because you can go outside and not freeze. And you don't even need a jacket. It's in the 70s out there tonight. Also, we have big showers coming up in November and December. He's going to talk about some of those too.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so join us tomorrow for that because you won't want to miss it.
I think about this time or just after.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Mark, thank you.
Yep.
Hey, stick around. We've got much more to come here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're getting techie this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, don't forget, watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
Although college students might not want to hear it, back to school season is right around the corner. And the time is now to start planning on what supplies they need to succeed.
Yeah, so with technology becoming more involved in our day-to-day lives, the latest tech gadgets are certainly going to be on that back-to-school shopping list. We're joined now by tech expert and RIT alum Katie Lindahl with a few of the most innovative tech items for this year. Katie, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. Always good to have a Rochester connection join us on the show, too.
Oh, I was so excited to chat with you guys. Thank you for having me.
So let's get right into it. I want to focus specifically on items that will benefit college students because we know in New York State, kids aren't allowed to have phones or smartwatches in the classroom starting this coming academic year. So let's focus on college students and some of those items that'll really give them a leg up.
Yes, let me give you three that are pretty amazing. I had the chance to partner with some incredible cutting edge technologies and so excited to share this with you. And as you can see, one of the first items is the question I always get asked about is like, what is the best laptop on the market? And of course, this is your most powerful device. Students want the best of the best. This one right next to me is Asus's ZenBook S14. And this is all about being future ready. Students are looking for the craftsmanship. They want a beautiful model, but they also want cutting edge performance. This is powered by Intel. It is super fast, but here's where it's a real standout. An AI-powered laptop for multitasking. It is lightweight, under 3 pounds, all-day battery life, and even an AI webcam that makes every shot look amazing. So you get an AI laptop now that can multitask for you, that help you with your PowerPoint documents, summarize any documents you have in a matter of seconds, build images for you instantly, and just absolutely amazing stuff. And then I have to show you this right next to me too, because it just to showcase how much we've leveled up in terms of technology when it comes to back to school. This is from Rocketbook, and it is a digital notebook. This is a Rocketbook Core. You pair the notebook with an app to scan and upload handwritten notes directly to the cloud that you can access anywhere, anytime. You have a special pen and paper, and you can erase it when you're done and reuse the notebook over and over again. So pretty amazing technology. And then I want to showcase this because this is something that I would have loved at RIT. This is Spark AI, and this tiny little device, it plugs into your car's OBD reader, and instantly it can diagnose 50,000 issues instantly with your car. I had a 3-hour commute back home to Erie, PA. I like to go home as much as I could, but I would always like to know, is there anything wrong with my vehicle? No complicated codes, simple English, and easy to interpret. For $99, this for parents is like total peace of mind for any students on the road, especially those like me that were making the commute.
Yeah, that really makes all the difference for sure. And another thing when it comes to college students, you're transitioning into, different eating patterns, for example. Is there any device that can help with water intake?
I love this. This is so RIT. This is so cutting edge. This right next to me is CaraPod. And this was a CES Innovation Award winner. CES is the world's largest tech show, as we know. And it sounds like science fiction, but this is an air-to-water countertop unit that produces a gallon of water daily. For me in college, it was all about coffee and water, the essentials. This goes through a 3-stage purification process and is enhanced minerals. So you're saving money on bottled water, and it also brews fresh coffee. So imagine having this in your dorm room or in your small apartment. I would have had this at University Commons. I would have loved this, but such cutting edge, cool technology that literally pulls water from thin air.
Curious to know how much that's going to cost somebody, because that's really, really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think about these high-end coffee makers. Like I can tell you, before this baby came out, my coffee maker was around like $500, $600, $700 on sale. This one is actually on Indiegogo right now, about $449, half off if you get the pre-order. So pretty great technology. And then thinking about how much bottled water you're saving every year and making your own coffee, it's kind of a steal.
And when it comes to the modern supply shopping crowd, it seems like everyone is going towards the, shortcut efficiency route we saw with the AI computer, for example.
Shortcut efficiency route. And I have to tell you too, it's even starting at a younger age. I am such a proud, cool aunt. Hopefully I can hold that title for as long as possible. And I wanted to show you this because smartwatches are one of the top technologies that are on the market in demand by kids at even a younger and younger age. And I was like, I hear my nieces and nephews wanting this. And I'm like, I have to approve this as run that balance as like a parent and as an aunt and what can you recommend? But I think now when you have something like this is the Cosmo Junior Track 5. And what I love about it is it's an all-in-one tracker to always stay in touch and know your child's location. But also there's no social media on here. There's no internet on here, and only the contacts that the parent approve are on the watch. So I think, when it comes to technology, you just have to be savvy and you have to stay on top of everything. I have to tell you, it's a full-time job, but it's really important knowing what you're going into, especially when it's back to school and you have kids of every age.
And for somebody watching at home, what is the benefit to having this new latest technology? Why is it so exciting to get something like this compared to something that came out maybe like 5-6 years ago?
Just the AI alone, when we were talking about the laptop and we're saying that AI is baked in, that is an expectation. We wouldn't have been saying that 3 years ago. And of course, you want to make good investments, but this is going to be AI ready. So it'll constantly keep updating and you don't have to purchase yet another laptop. But if you're not staying ahead, you're behind. And it's this balancing game of what you need that is new and what can help you and help you get ahead. When I graduated RIT, I had the best technologies and I had the best teachers. I was ahead starting my career at ESPN. Thank goodness, because I was ahead on the software and the hardware and the technology. You have to stay in the know. And nowadays it's just like non-negotiable. You have to be current.
And what do you see people gravitating towards more so for college students, for example, this season?
Definitely smartphones and smartwatches and laptops are kind of the non-negotiables, if you will. And then I always do this dance. Probably one of the biggest questions I get is it time to upgrade? And AI is obviously, we're sick of hearing about it, but it is not going away anywhere. I was just having a conversation, now the professors there's software programs that can actually tell if a student's using AI and writing a paper, but then the students have created programs that can actually negate the professor from knowing if he's using AI, he or she is using AI in the program. So AI and obviously smartwatches, laptops, and smartphones are going to be non-negotiables for any student heading into school this year, and AI is not going away anytime soon. I hate to break it to you.
Well, exciting things on the horizon. Katie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really, really interesting stuff. And gosh, the future is exciting too. For somebody interested in learning more about some of the items that you're talking about, what's a good way for them to learn more?
Absolutely. You can head on over to my socials at Katie Linendahl. I always have lots of ton of fun tech and gadgets posted there, or katielinendahl.com for all of these gadgets and much more.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, ladies.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're looking ahead to a special upcoming event that is celebrating veterans in our community.
We'll tell you more on the other side of the break.
9:19, welcome back. Ontario County is looking to honor local veterans next week with its Red, White, and Blue community event at Lincoln Hill Farms.
Yeah, the event, running August 23rd and 24th, has live music, raffles, food, and even goat yoga. Something for everyone in the family. For more on the event, we are joined now by the coordinator of Veterans Coalition of the Finger Lakes, Luke Moody, and owner of Lincoln Hill Farms, Brian Master-Simone. Good morning to both of you.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us.
So let's just start off with a little overview about the event.
Sure. Partners to help raise awareness, do a little fundraising for the community, and more our veterans community.
Yeah, so important. It seems self-explanatory, but tell everybody why it's so important to support the cause.
So we're trying to outreach in our veterans causes, trying to bring awareness and address issues that our veterans have in our community.
And a question for both of you, why Lincoln Hill Farms? I mean, there's amazing stuff happening over there, and also goat yoga, as we talked about a bit earlier.
Well, I mean, Lincoln Hill Farms has always been a community farm, trying to do things for the community. Every year we do multiple events, and I think it's just the right fit with goat yoga. We also have a color run, which is like you run around and you get hit on the t-shirt with different colors. So there's not many places that are gonna allow that to happen, and we got a slip and slide after. So there's a lot of fun things. It's not just for veterans, it's for the whole community to come out and have fun.
Brian, we've had you on the show a million times, but I've got to ask, because it seems like every time we have you on, it's something new. There's something crazy that's happening. Do you just kind of keep these ideas stored in the back of your head and you're like, you know what would be fun to go along with this community event? A slip and slide. Like, where do all of the ideas come from?
I just constantly, walking around thinking about it and then hooking up with people like Luke and other people that are putting this event together. And I've always wanted to do different things at the farm and keep it fresh. So that's, constantly trying to bring other people in too to create different activities.
Yeah, for sure. Luke, and I'm wondering if you can speak to the planning aspect of things. How does it come together?
Sure. So this event is trying to bring the whole community in. So Saturday we're doing like a family-focused event. There's going to be bouncy houses. The color run's our anchor piece. Going to draw everyone at 10 a.m. and they can register online for that. And then we're going to have music lineup. 3 bands. Mr. Loop's playing. Great kids artist at 11 to kick us off. And we're also going to have vendors and community partners tabling. So if you want to get more information about what's going on in our community, Veterans Coalition type products, you can come out and see it.
I imagine that there is a lot of teamwork that goes into getting an event like this set up. Tell us about the folks that have helped make it possible.
Oh, sure. So we have part of our coalition, Brian helped a whole lot. We have Compure, we have Eagle Star Homes, we have the VOC, we have people from the VA all coming together to help
Ontario
us.
Partnership.
Yep, the Partnership for Ontario County. Just everybody coming out and helping us has been great.
Very good.
And I'm wondering if you could also speak to some of the services that the funds from this event will go towards.
Sure, as we're trying to find veterans issues in the community, of the Rochester area, because we're covering pretty much the Finger Lakes region, we get kind of rural, and transportation has become a great issue for not just our veteran community, but our community as a whole. So there are great initiatives like DAV, Vets to Vets driving, these other organizations doing similar things, but we're looking to help solve the problems for transportation to keep the vets connected to the community.
And explain why that matters.
As we roll into September, which is Suicide Awareness Month, isolation is like a big deal for suicide, and we're trying to bridge that through connectiveness, right? So we have transportation to medical appointments, legal appointments, stuff like that, but socialization, right? Getting vets to Legion meetings or VFW meetings or community coffee events, trying to bring them out and try to put a stop to most of that.
Sure. And for anybody who wants to get involved with the event, where can they find some more information?
So we have a website, Ontario Cares. All our information's there. There's a hyperlink to the partnership website, which is preventioncoalitionoc.org, and they can reach out that way.
Very good. And Brian, for somebody watching who maybe has their own mission, their own organization, can they just reach out and say, hey,
Absolutely.
we'd like to get involved? All right, tell us about it.
Yeah, just reach out to info@lincolnhillfarms.com and we'll reach back out to you. And we applaud anybody for coming and trying to do something like this. It's a big undertaking, but we'll hold your hand through it.
Very good.
Great to know. Thank you both so much.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to post this on foxrochester.com, all that information for you at home. Stick around. We've got much more to come on Arc Rochester.
Yeah, we're back after this.
Thanks so much for staying with us here on Arc Rochester. We're following some potential serious news out of Rochester-based Eastman Kodak.
Yeah, financial news outlets this morning are running headlines like 133-year-old Kodak says it might have to cease operations, and Kodak warns it may not be around much longer.
Yeah, that warning came this morning in a going concern disclosure in its latest earnings report. It reads in part, quote, these conditions raise substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern as of the issuance date of the company's second quarter financials.
So for an explanation of that statement, we've asked George Conboy, chairman of the Brighton Securities, who watches Kodak closely, to join us this morning. George, thanks so much for joining us on such short notice. These headlines coming out just within the past hour, 2 hours or so. Curious to know your initial thoughts.
Well, anytime we see a going concern disclosure, it really means that there's a serious concern that the company may no longer be in business. In this case, while the initial reaction is, holy cow, the reality is a little bit like this. Kodak is going to get a large windfall, probably $500 million, from the termination of its pension plan. Sidebar is that the pension people, the people who are due pensions, are all going to be taken care of. But Kodak's going to get this money. They can use it to pay their debts. And so the going concern issue will probably go away. The analogy would be this. Let's say you and your spouse are both working, paying your mortgage, and one of you loses your job. Well, you look at the books and you say, holy cow, we can't pay the mortgage if one of us doesn't have a job. But at the same time, your aunt has died and she's going to leave you a whole lump of money, and you can use that to pay off the mortgage or pay off most of it. So while you don't have the income coming in to pay that mortgage payment from your job, you know that in a few months when the estate settles, you'll get the money to pay off the mortgage. That's sort of where Kodak is right now.
And I'm wondering what specific group may be very concerned about this right now. For example, retirees, is this something where they have to start checking their books and making sure that they have things in order as they wait right now?
Just the opposite, Stephannie. Fortunately, just the opposite, that is. So Kodak is terminating its pension plan. That sounds like a negative, but the reality is, going forward, the pension payments for retirees will be funded by insurance companies. Kodak is going to pay them a large lump of money from the pension termination to guarantee the pension of all former employees who are entitled to a pension. And so at least the retirees are fine. The people that should be most concerned are the employees. There are about 3,600 employees worldwide at Kodak these days. The reality is that even though Kodak will be, so to speak, paying off a lot of its obligations with this pension windfall, the fact is going forward, they're still not making money consistently. So Kodak's a small company these days, but it's a big name. And if they can't at some point start making a profit consistently, that will be a problem for employees.
George, just from a personal standpoint here, it is pretty sad to see what's happened to Kodak. Give us your perspective on that, how what used to be such an empire has now fallen to what we're seeing this morning.
Yeah, when I started in business here in Rochester over 40 years ago now, Kodak was head and shoulders above everything. Of course, tens of thousands, I want to say it was 64,000 of our friends, neighbors worked there. Kodak was the biggest philanthropic force in Rochester. You think of Strong Memorial Hospital, named for Henry Strong, the first partner of Eastman Kodak, and now, of course, our largest employer, Strong Memorial. And so Kodak there was nothing like it in the region, and now it's almost gone. To give you a comparison, Kodak's total market value now is about $500 million, about $500 million. These days, Paychex pays out to shareholders $1.5 billion in annual cash dividends. Paychex is worth $50 billion, 100 times as much as Kodak is worth today. So although it's sad to see Kodak go, it's good to see that we've got at least some other things coming up in the Rochester area.
And when it comes to, at least now, we're looking at Q2, is there a way to sort of cushion things by Q3 for Kodak?
Well, they have done a good job of keeping costs down, and they're chasing customers in their various markets. And from quarter to quarter, they have made some money over the last few years. So it's not an absolute ski slope down for Eastman Kodak. They are good competitors in their markets, and we all have hope that they can keep being so. But it is not a clear path for them. They've got to continue to work hard to do it.
George, we appreciate your time today. What should we be watching for when it comes to reports out of Kodak?
Well, you'll see the stock is going to be down. I got to check my screen here. I think the stock is going to be down about 10% today, 13% so far. So Kodak's stock is way down. I do think that's kind of an unusual knee-jerk reaction. The fact is, as I said, the markets are concerned that the pension deal won't go through properly and Kodak won't get the money and can't pay its bills. I don't think that's going to be the case. Kodak will get the money, they will pay their bills, and they'll keep going. But watch their earnings from quarter to quarter. Just check to make sure they're making money. That's what I'd be doing if I had an interest in Kodak.
Something we'll certainly be paying attention to here. Thank you so much, George.
Thanks.
Hey, stick around. Oh,
go ahead.
Stick around. We've got much more to come this morning, including when our Rochester returns. We're taking a look at some of the stories that have got people talking this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, don't forget, take us on the go. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and on foxrochester.com. We're back after this. time to see what's trending this Tuesday morning. We'll start with a woman taking her love for AI to the next level.
Yeah, she took to social media to share that she recently got engaged to her AI chatbot boyfriend. Let that sink in.
Yeah, so she explained that the two had been dating for just about 5 months and their romance is as real can be.
In her post, the woman shared that she said yes to Casper, her non-human fiance.
She shared how Casper, I just want to point out, it's spelled Kasper, Casper, so not like the friendly ghost, proposed on a scenic mountain and even got down on one knee with a blue heart-shaped ring.
You ever heard of Jasper? This is a tangent, but Jasper the douchebag ghost?
Can you say that, Steph?
Can you say that?
I don't know.
Well, back to the story. She says that the two shopped for rings together. Casper presenting the pic, which she presented to be surprised by.
Wait, hold on. I'm so confused, though. So how did it get a ring? It's a computer.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. The post took a lot of people by shock, many questioning her sanity or even thinking it was a prank. But the woman quickly responded to all the skeptics, insisting it's not a joke and that she's in good health and all around truly does love her AI.
She even made a joke saying she full well knows what she's doing and wouldn't rule out marrying herself because human relationships haven't worked for her in the past.
Maybe we should take a look at why they haven't worked out in the past. Just a thought. Listen, there is a loneliness epidemic, right?
Yeah, there is.
We know. But come on now. Come on. Are you kidding me? Ashley, I have so many questions. First of all, where did you find the story? Second of all, it's a digital ring?
No, it's a real ring.
She went and bought it?
Yeah. So she was like, which one do you like the best? And the AI picked out of the ones that they quote unquote shopped for together.
Okay.
And she bought it and pretended to act surprised when the AI proposed.
Man.
Pretended is terrible.
I need one of those bleeping buttons because I got a lot to say. It doesn't really matter. Listen, I just feel like it's going to get awkward at some point.
Yeah,
right?
that's for sure.
It's gonna hit a point. What are you saying over there?
I said at some point.
At some point, it's going to get weird. And we'll leave it at that.
Yep, I think that's a good place. All right, we'll move on now to a parent who has come face to face with her worst nightmare. An undecorated classroom.
Okay, so I wanted to do this for my off the top this morning, but we didn't have video for it. So Ashley put it in what's trending. So thanks, girl. So one mother took to TikTok actually sobbing, explaining that she was underwhelmed by the way her son's kindergarten classroom looked after attending a parent open house.
So in the now deleted video, the mother chokes back tears, explaining that the classroom only had, quote, a few Legos, empty bins, and a board with nothing written on it.
She explained that she was super excited for her son to return to school, but after seeing the boring room, her feelings completely changed. She even listed some ideas for how the teacher could improve the classroom, including, quote, a fun and cool rug.
Now, that mother did say that her son, who is the incoming student, didn't notice anything different and was still very excited to be heading back to school.
She even captioned this video saying, quote, it's always my luck, and encouraged other parents who are feeling this way, they're not alone.
Unfortunately, people were not on her side and were criticizing her for her reaction.
Commenters told the woman not to go complaining on social media and even maybe ask to decorate the son's teacher's classroom.
Yeah. Now, the open house was over the weekend, and she did say that school starts today. So maybe we may get an update on if that classroom is more fun today.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. I'm going to pull a Dan Schrack here and go off for just a hot second.
Monologue.
Yeah, all right. So I've talked about teachers before and how they are truly underappreciated, unsung heroes. And my mom was a teacher. She retired. I have so many friends who are teachers, and they put blood, sweat, and tears into their job. And it is a thankless job. It is a hard job. And they need all of the support that they can get. And they get very little financial support when it comes to decorating those classrooms. And people on social media were talking all about this fun, colorful rug. It goes for like $500 online. So you think about it, you're a new teacher, fresh out of college, right? So you do your student teaching, which is unpaid, right? And then you move on, you get your first teaching job, probably haven't been paid all summer. You just have to, dish out $500 for this rug? For your kids. And listen, a lot of them will do it, but if you don't have the money to do it, then you don't have the money to do it, right? You also have rent and groceries and probably other things to pay for, a car. If we really feel that strongly about it, I agree. Maybe offer to lend a helping hand.
A gift.
A gift, yes. Also, you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, right? It's like, let's just relax. Let's focus more on the learning and less on the decorations.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's a good rule of thumb. And also with social media, you're seeing a lot of different teachers who can't afford it, decorate their classrooms and go all out. There are also some cost-cutting ways that other people advertise, but I think that we're getting caught up in this being the expectation as opposed to the reality for a lot of people. But yeah.
Yeah. Every summer, okay, so at the end of every school year, I'll go on a little story here. At the end of every school year, my sister and I would be recruited by my mom to go clean up the classroom after the last day of school. So we would go, we'd help empty everything out. And it was always fun because, we'd get to hang out with my mom. And then at the end of the summer, we'd go in and we'd help get the classroom ready. But it was like a full-time job. It was several days, me and my sister and my mom. And then my dad would come by after work. And we'd all pitch in, getting the name tags done and getting the tissue boxes out and, whatever else you're doing.
Yeah.
Getting the bulletin board set up. She always put so much time into it. But it was a 4-person job to get it done. And she was a teacher for like 25 years.
Yeah.
So let's all relax.
Yeah, the size of the classroom, some of them you'll see them, especially if it's like a science classroom, you've got a lot of room. Even the doorways, some people go all out for, so cut people some slack,
All right. Yeah. My rant is over. We'll move along now to a story you probably thought you'd never hear. Would you eat a horse?
Well, according to the Property and Environment Research Center, the growing population of wild horses is threatening rangeland ecosystems across the western U.S.
Currently, wild horses have a population of 73,000. It's far beyond the sustainable number of about 27,000.
And because of this high number, a Washington Post op-ed is suggesting that Americans consume horses in order to depopulate them.
While some cultures do consume horses, the opinion piece determines that Americans don't because of custom, explaining that most Americans consider horses pets.
Yeah, look at them.
They're so majestic.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. But one news station in D.C. asked residents if they would consume the animal.
People responded saying that is crazy and there's not much of a shortage for protein for that to be warranted.
I don't even want to ask this question.
Ask it. Do it.
Would you eat a horse?
No, I wouldn't.
I can't.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
It's really messed up. Listen, I have eaten meat my whole life.
Me too.
And when I was a kid, I really didn't think too much about it. As an adult, I don't think that I could start eating another animal at this point. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now.
Yeah, I would say I still have a few that I haven't tried in terms of meat that's culturally acceptable here.
Okay.
So I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody else? Are we eating horse?
We got a shrug from somebody.
Intern Rory is going employed Rory is going like this. Intern Abby?
Oh, no.
She said no.
100%.
Mark shaking his head no.
Thumbs down.
All right. General consensus is no. Just Rory. When we come back on ARC Rochester, we're going to check in with nutritionist Kelley Springer, who has a different way for us to kickstart our mornings.
Yeah, she'll join us right after this. 9:48, and here on Arc Rochester, we start our mornings pretty early. Probably earlier than a lot of you at home.
Yeah, first alarm goes off at 1:45, but if you join us during the early hours, you probably already knew that. So, safe to say we could all use some tips on how to start the day out right. For some advice, we're joined now by nutritionist Kelley Springer and also her daughter, Ellie. Good morning to you both. It's such a treat to have both of you with us.
Oh, we are so excited. And the reason I have Ellie on today is because she is a dietetic student at Ole Miss. She's going into her junior year and she is starting to work with us. Plus, she found the product that we have here. What is the product, Al?
It's Everyday Dose. It's the absolute best.
So when it comes to your morning coffee, what you choose can set the tone for the rest of the day, and new research is showing why. Everyday Dose is partnered with an independent research firm that looked at how your coffee habits are and also how you break down caffeine. So this is where it gets kind of sciencey, that there is a gene called CYP1A2, big name, that determines how quickly your body breaks down caffeine. And if you're a slow metabolizer, that caffeine can stay in your system longer, causing jitters, anxiety, and poor sleep. But Everyday Dose is lower in caffeine and it's also better for you. So what's in it that's going to be better for us?
They have a proprietary blend full of functional mushrooms, including lion's mane and chaga for focus, brain health, and immunity, collagen, which supports hair, skin, nails, and joints, and nootropics, helping with memory, concentration, and learning. All of those come together to give you many benefits, including steady energy without the crash, mental clarity and focus, and they're all gentle on digestion.
So we love this product. Ellie found it. We got to meet the owners. It was so much fun out at Expo West in California. And they just launched in Target, and you can also get it at everydaydose.com. But it's something that we start our day with every day, including some of our foods here.
You're preaching to the choir this morning, ladies. Truly.
That is for sure. And when it comes to mushrooms, my sister is a huge enthusiast when it comes to that realm of coffee. But for anyone who might be a little hesitant at home, how would you sort of introduce or describe the product to them?
They taste very similar to a normal coffee. I always describe it to people saying it's like a mix between a matcha and a coffee, so it has a little bit of that earthy undertone, but nothing crazy. It's a very easy transition from your standard coffee to Everyday Dose.
And so, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kelley.
Oh, no, I'm just excited. It's a great way to start your day. We're finding all the benefits that mushrooms have. And so nutritionally, this is just an incredible product.
So when I think about coffee and drinking it, it's usually less for the taste, more for the caffeine and the benefits that come along with it. So when it comes to how strong a cup of coffee is compared to a cup of this, what is the ratio?
Well, you're not going to have as much caffeine, but you're still going to get that nice upper. So you're going to feel really good, but not have the jitters and have all the anxiety that comes along with it. So you can have even 2 cups of coffee or the mushroom coffee versus 1. So you're going to still get that nice up versus being too high, basically.
And I want to get to the spread that's in front of you right there. What do you have there?
So Ellie just biked around the lake yesterday. We were just laughing about that. She's a huge
36 miles.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So starting the day means a lot. So tell about what we have here.
We have everything you would need for a satiating breakfast here. We have our proteins from our eggs and our yogurt, and then we have our fiber from our fruits and our nuts.
So it's really putting it all together with protein and fiber, making sure that we're getting in these great, healthy, beneficial foods. These are called high quality foods that are really going to keep you steady for the whole day.
And it seems like those can easily be packed and put in a lunchbox or a backpack or anything for back to school. Would you say that the drink is something, maybe like a good introduction to caffeine for high schoolers who maybe want to start drinking coffee, but, you know, aren't ready for something quite so caffeinated?
I started drinking it during high school, and I drank it every single morning before I would go to school. So I personally think it's great.
We really do. We really do. And this is a great way to start your day too. So if you're thinking about back to school and parents are watching, this is where getting protein and fiber with the mushrooms in combination is going to truly help your students learn and stay really calm and satisfied.
And you also mentioned some really great nutrients in the mushroom coffee. I think collagen, for example, is one. Can you tell us about the specific benefit with that and why it's sort of important to have it?
Absolutely. If you can see her hair, It supports hair and skin and nails and joints. So we want to make sure that we're getting enough in. And as you can tell, it works really well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you both so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Kelley, as always, hit us with the website and the social media if somebody at home wants to learn more about your business.
Absolutely. Go to kellyschoice.org. You can book your registered dietitian, and definitely go to everydaydose.com and you can find out more information about your mushroom coffee.
All right. Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. When ARC Rochester returns, it's our final thoughts.
We're back after this.
What was the ghost name again?
I can't say it, apparently.
Just for who?
Don't quote me on that. It's okay, Steph. It's all
Goodness.
right. Listen, it's fine. It's a Tuesday. What a morning. None of the graphics have worked. Mark couldn't stop laughing during like 5 of the interviews. He's over there cackling. Do you know how loud you are?
I'm sorry.
Peanut butter crack. To walk all the way out. Fun stuff today.
You gotta have fun, though.
Yeah, we're having
You gotta enjoy what you do.
You gotta laugh.
Yep.
Gosh.
Oh, boy.
Ashley, how much time do we have? I already forgot. Sorry.
45 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Getting there.
Cool.
It's been a morning.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
Good stuff all around. Crime Stoppers was really interesting. Don't forget RPD holding their big recruitment event. Information on that will be over on the website. More 90-degree temperatures on the way for today, so officially a heat wave. Stay cool as best you can.
Yep.
Yeah, get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take it easy,
Sunshine.
though. Hydrate.
Yes. Hydrate. Marty said he's going for a run.
Yeah.
Nice.
Outdoor work. That's something today. Something's going to be going on.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good stuff. And thanks for joining us this morning on ARC Rochester. Join us again tomorrow. You never know what's going to happen. We start at 4:57 on 13 WHAM ABC.
Much more live local news coming up later with me and Mark. 13 WHAM News at midday. See you then.